and maybe majority of them are not sharing what they are going through. And in this whole context, when we talk about the Pakistan, in Pakistan, there is one psychologist for 450,000 people. And there is one psychiatrist for 550,000 people. It means that 90% people in Pakistan with mental health issues remain untreated. And on the other hand, in this whole situation, inflation, everything, you people are well aware that how much expensive these psychiatrists and psychologists are, and they are not easy to afford. So in this whole context, इतनी ज़्यादा अगर mental health issues हैं, तो it's very important that we should understand what mental health issues are and how can we avoid them. Since the psychiatrists and the psychologists, they are either not easily available or they are so expensive, तो हम ऐसा क्या करें कि हम खुद से self sufficient हो जाएं कि हम अपने mental health issues का ख्याल कर सकें, ठीक है? So let's move. Okay. So definition of health. When we talk about WHO definition of health, then it means that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of diseases. So, yes, okay. So when we talk about the complete health, we say that this person is a healthy person. It means it's just a combination of three important things. Number one, physical health. I hope all of you understand what is meant by physical health. Number two, mental health. And number three, emotional health. We'll discuss them later on. But make one thing clear, that actually the middle part is the most important one. If you are mentally healthy, only then you can be physically healthy as well as emotionally healthy. आपका ये part is much more important than any other part, any other organ of the body. अगर आपको heart attack हो जाए, तो there are chances कि कोई surgery करवा के, कुछ भी करवा के, you can survive. लेकिन अगर यहाँ पे damage हो जाए, तो you are expired in extreme condition. So this part is much more important than any other part of the body. Okay? So yes, we need to discuss and we need to understand what mental health is. अगर हम ये कहते हैं कि 3 लोग बैठे हैं and out of those 3, one person is having mental health issues, तो आप कहेंगे कि भाई they are perfectly fine. How can they have mental health issues? वो तो बिल्कुल चंगे भले and they are looking so good and they are kind of, so how can we say that the person is mentally sick? It means that we need to have this understanding what mental health is and how can we identify such issues not only in our personality but also about others. So if I ask you this question, what is mental health? How would you define it? I mean, of course I don't need any definition. Theoretical definition. I just want to check your understanding. Do you really understand what mental health is? Yes? Atya?
The way we perceive or react, I think this is called a mental health.
Perfect. The way we perceive or react. Okay, fine. Next?
Stability.
Yes?
Or actually state of being, how we are perceiving everything, how we are looking at everything, although we might seem perfectly well. But mental health actually tells us, it is actually said the brighter smiles actually hide the biggest pains.
Okay.
That's the truth actually. You can fake your smile, but you never know what's going in your brain. What are your thoughts? Are you perceiving everything? The world and the environment.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other input from any side? Yes?
Anxiety, depression, and overthinking is also mental health.
Okay. Okay. Any other contribution? Yes?
Balance of mind, emotions and behavior.
Okay, perfectly fine. See, in order to understand mental illness, first we need to understand what mental health is. So, if you are in a position to wake up early, to wake up in the morning, to get out of the bed, out of the sofa, goals, to think about the enriched life, and then you set certain strategies to achieve those goals, to achieve those dreams, it means that you come in the category of those people who are mentally healthy. These are the people who are careful about the nutrition of their body, that what are they supposed to eat and what are they not supposed to eat. Okay? These are the people who do exercise. These are the people who sleep well. These are the people who set their goals and then they are active enough to develop the strategies to achieve those goals. Then one of the participants said that these people are emotionally stable. Yes, they are this much emotionally stable that it's quite natural that in any situation you people react, you people show emotions. If you don't react, if you don't show any emotion, that is abnormal. आपको एक अल्लाह ताला ने emotions दिए हैं, different types of emotion, और वो आप टाइम पे वो आपके evoke होते हैं. But then there is this situation when you are acting impulsively. There is an provocative situation, और आप provocative situation में you are not reacting intentionally. Intentionally आप react करेंगे, तो the remote control is in your hand. You are well aware that I am supposed to say these words in this situation. I am supposed to react this much. आपने anger show करना है. Just imagine that there are number 1 to number 10 level of angers. ठीक है? ये level है. A mentally strong person knows in a situation where the person is supposed to show level 3 anger, तो वो वही level anger का show करेगा. जहाँ पे level 1 का anger show करना है, the person will show the same anger. But what happened with the other ones? जो mentally weak people हैं, जहाँ पे level 1 का anger show करना है, they will show the level 9 anger, level 10 anger. It means के उनका remote control उनके अपने हाथ में नहीं है. The people, the judgments, the comments, they are controlling them. जब एक mentally strong बंदा एक bulletproof jacket पहन के फिर रहा होता है हर वक्त, no matter whatever the people are saying, they react according to their own choice. I hope you are understanding this. So this is the sign of mentally strong person. There is another sign that traumas, shocks, griefs, they are part of life. All of us come across such situation off and on. मैं इस स्टेज पे लाइफ के लिए समझती हूँ that life is never smooth. There are always ups, downs. Sometimes there are pleasures, sometimes there are griefs. But what happens with mentally strong people? That they know that okay, this is an unexpected situation. ये एक traumatic situation मेरे साथ हो गई है. Now it cannot be changed. So I need to develop strategies how to overcome it. They don't celebrate the pity party. Do you know what is pity party? That something has happened and they are just overwhelmed with it. And they are just unable to do the rest of the task of their life properly जिस तरह वो करना चाहते हैं. So वो pity party इतनी prolong हो जाती है कि उसकी consequences हम आगे जाके देखते हैं. So in situation in life, this is very important that you need to understand that आप एक mentally strong person को अगर देखना है, you will see that the person will also face crisis, but will just deal it as one part of the life, one aspect of the life, and will develop strategies to overcome it. And then the most important thing is that mentally strong people are positive people. They are not the disappointment factories. If there is a person who is always negative, who is always just talking about the weak things, the negative things, so consider it a mental illness and have pity upon that person. So mentally strong people are not the disappointment factory. They are always looking for the opportunities. So let's have some more discussion about this. Yes. So how WHO defines mental health? A state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his own community. I hope it's clear? Okay, let's move. Okay, so we are already done with this discussion. So we just need to understand that there is no health without mental health. And yes, we need to give a balance between mental health and physical health. Normally, what happens that we are very careful about our dressing, about our food, about so many other things. But the most important part of our body, जिसमें ये सारी चीजें हमारी चला रही हैं, who will help us to achieve the goal, and that is the soul, that is the mind. Most of the time we just forget it. And yes, okay, and we are actually not ready to talk about it. What are the possible reasons if we are suffering from any mental illness, if we are unable to get out of our bed? क्या वो taboos हैं in our society? Let's be open. We just stop us to have discussion. आप बड़े आराम से ये तो बता देते हैं that, for example, I am having pain, my muscle is pulled, or anything like that. But when you are having any mental health issue, you are just reluctant to share it with the people. Similarly, what happens in our society? सोसाइटी का रिएक्शन भी क्या है कि किसी का फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक टांग टूट गई है तो उसको तो वो फौरन कहेंगे कि जी ओ टांग टूट गई, गो टू द डॉक्टर इन इमरजेंसी एंड गेट द ट्रीटमेंट फ्रॉम द डॉक्टर. कोई ये नहीं कहता उसको तुम्हारा अल्लाह के साथ ताल्लुक बड़ा कमजोर है. Get connected with Allah life and you will, आपकी टांग जो है वो ठीक हो जाएगी. Similarly, कोई उसको ये नहीं कहता when the leg is broken that you need to be strong. ओ भाई बहादुर बनो, मुकाबला करो. ये क्या? लोग ये नहीं पता कि जिस तरीके से एक टांग या बाजू टूट जाए और एक डैमेज होता है, क्योंकि वो आपको नजर आता है, you are ready to accept that. But what happened about the damage that happened here? वो बिल्कुल वैसे ही डैमेज होता है जैसे कोई भी और बॉडी का ऑर्गन आपका डैमेज होता है. So people have just this indifferent attitude towards these mental health issues. So it is just a taboo. Why is it a taboo? Would you like to share your insights? Why the people are reluctant in the society to talk about this important topic, this important issue? Yes? जी बेटा, Siddha. Okay.
The main issue is that nobody will understand. And they will ask them, instead of saying this, that instead of understanding it, instead of showing empathy, what they do basically that they judge them. Basically. So this fear of judgment is always there, and that insecurity makes them.
आपको ब्लड प्रेशर हो गया है, आपकी टांग टूट गई है, आपको डायबिटीज हो गई है, वो तो आप शेयर करने के लिए तैयार है. But if you are having this important thing, you are really afraid that people will judge you. And yes, Atya?
And ma'am, like our
Yes.
social attitudes towards such type of illness, like people are so negative. Like if somebody needs a psychiatrist, so like the people will start shaming that person, that like these type of words like पागल है, पागलों के डॉक्टर के पास जा रहे हैं. So this is the main factor that the people are reluctant to say openly or admit openly that they need some like psychiatric treatment.
Exactly. देखिए mental health issues के भी different level है. It just start from that vital level where you are having stress, a little bit of the anxiety, and then देखिए लोग हर मसले को mental health issues को किसके साथ जोड़ देते हैं? पागल. Yes.
I think not only the environment, but the person himself or herself is also somehow being a kind of taboo. Since there is lesser kind of element that I have some sort of issue and I need to correct it at earlier. Sometimes we know it and we just should be addressed properly. Later on in the society comes. First is the person needs a person. The inner voice that you are getting strong.
Okay. Yes, Jay?
I would like to say actually that parents play a huge role in this as well.
Okay.
From early childhood up, actually we are breaking the generational trauma and everything that, okay, a kid can feel something. Parents used to belittle their kids a lot in front of relatives and everything. And then when they used to grow up, they say, why do you have this? Pagal ho kya? Kyun hua aisa? You are not supposed to feel anything. Parents usually, actually, unfortunately, I've seen this in family as well. When another parent says, no, इसको क्या हुआ? ये इसको खाना नहीं मिल रहा, इसको घर में सारी साइकिल नहीं मिल रही, are they getting every luxury? Actually, this creates the gap. When parents are not ready to accept their kid, then how is the environment, how is the society going to accept it? Because parents, they are right.
The first thing, parents will hide it. That the society should not know about this issue of their child. And this is another important tragic fact that you know who are the first abuser of the child. Are you aware? They are the parents. Not intentionally, but unintentionally, they are damaging the personality, they are making that person psycho, and that's why 1 out of every 3 person is having mental health. इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर होता है आपका होम एनवायरनमेंट. यस वकार साहब. यस. Okay. Exactly. You are not ready as a professional to share that you have mental health issues with your colleagues because you feel that your next achievements, the next phases of your professional life are going to be defined with this discovery that maybe the people will consider you mentally retarded somehow, and that those important assignments might not be given, those important achievements might be snatched from you just because वही वाला लोग के लिए पागल है, ये इलाज करवा रहे हैं. So this shaming, this is another issue. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. One of the main issue is we find the treatment is other superstitious things, like he or she has a sort of magic, or they have the mean, like other things, and again you mentioned the main cause in today's world is the parents, because the too much pressure, academic pressure is there. I mean, there is a rat race for getting good grades and good marks, and students are getting obsessed and they are mentally sick. And ultimately, if I say in each session, 1 or 2 students, they have just left out their studies and they are in a very pathetic situation, and still parents are there to force them that you are the lagging behind, you are wasting your time, look at your fellows, look at your friends. So again, there is another reason.
Can you actually this magic issue? I know one sibling of ours, and she is having these faith and mental health issues, and clearly she's either having schizophrenia or something like that, but she has never been taken together in the village, and despite that, we are just telling them to take her to the psychiatrist, but they say इस पे जिन का साया है, इस पे जादू हो गया है, and they are constantly taking all the bad taweez garda and those spiritual things. So yes, in villages mostly, and even in educated families, it happens कि आपको क्यों समझा जाता है as if it is some spiritual issues. I remember very well once a student came to me, उसने मेरे साथ share किया कि मैं मुझे लगता है that this world is good for nothing. क्या करना है डिग्री लेके यहाँ पे रह के जब मर ही जाना है. I mean, look at these abnormal thoughts. And मुझे लगता है मैम कि मुझे ना इस दुनिया से चले जाना चाहिए. Those suicidal thoughts, right? So I was just shocked. It was just the start of my career. So I thought to better take help from my seniors. So there was this professor, and I took that student to that professor. मेरा ख्याल था कि जो मसला उस टाइम पे मैं हेल्प नहीं कर पा रही मेरी प्रोफेसर विल हेल्प दैट स्टूडेंट और कुछ अच्छी उसके लिए हम कोई डिफाइन करेंगे चीज़ बट एक्चुअली व्हाट हैपेंड व्हेन वी वेंट टू दैट प्रोफेसर हाईली कॉम्पिटेंट एंड व्हाट हैपेंड दैट शी सेड बेटा नमाज़ें पढ़ते हो नमाज़ें पढ़ा करो ना अल्लाह का जिक्र किया करो एंड ही वेंट इनटू दीज गिल्टी फीलिंग्स उसने कहा मैं पढ़ता तो हूँ कभी छोड़ भी देता हूँ पढ़ तो सो एक्चुअली ऑफरिंग सलात डूइंग जिक्र इज गुड इट गिव्स यू अ लॉट बट this is the general attitude of the society that if you are mentally you are having any mental health issue it means कि अल्लाह आपसे खुश नहीं है ये एक बहुत बड़ा which is absolutely wrong आपकी काम टूटी कुछ भी हुआ you just take it as a medical issue similarly the mental health issues should also be taken as a medical issue so the taboos लेकिन अभी आप देखिए कि there is a change most of the time you must be listening the interviews of various celebrities where they are discussing their mental health issues. And quite recently, I have been listening to various celebrities who are sharing that how in different phases of their life they came across this situation. कैसे depression होता था, they used to weep for no reason and they isolated themselves और वो सारी बात, but how they came out of it. फिर वो different strategies जो हम आगे जाके discuss करेंगे, they developed various strategies and how they came out of it. और वो ओपनली जब डिस्कस करते हैं एंड दे से दैट वी आर डिस्कसिंग इट वी आर टेलिंग द पीपल दैट दिस इज समथिंग नॉर्मल इसको नॉर्मल कंसीडर करें एंड हैव अ डिस्कशन अबाउट सो यस श्योर श्योर
Unawareness is also a major contributor to this taboo because as you said that majority of the people are mentally healthy, mentally normal. So they do not know that the people who are going through this mental illness, how do they feel, what pain they are going through.
Exactly.
So this is the reason that for a person who is going through some mental illness, he is hesitant of he or she is hesitant of sharing that illness with someone else. But physical injury, physical pain is something that most of the people experience, so that is something that they understand. But mental health they do not understand because they are unaware of the feeling.
Absolutely fine. So at this point, we just need to discuss that how can we diagnose this mental illness? How can we say that we or some other person is having this problem? So as you people can see, that mentally ill people will show some signs to you. आपने वो साइन अपने अंदर भी इग्नोर नहीं करने and you are not going to ignore these signs among other people as well. It seems very normal to get out of the bed, to get out of the sofa and start your work. But believe me, the people who are mentally sick, उनकी ये चीज़ इतनी heavy हुई होती है that it becomes impossible and difficult for them कि वो bed से उठे. आप देखिए that most of the time they would not like to do any activity, they are just lying on the bed. Does it happen? Huh? Yes, yes. And then overthinking. How does it contribute in mental illness? Such people, they are just overwhelmed. छोटी-छोटी बातें which might not be that much important for a mentally healthy person. वो होगी और बस होगी खत्म हो जाएंगी. And the person will move on towards the next phase of the life. But जो mentally sick person है, उसके लिए उसको पैनिक अटैक आ जाएंगे. उसके लिए बहुत बड़ा वो मसला बन जाएगा. Are you understanding? So this is what overthinking. And then most